To the PHNX Suns Watchalong. Like I said on the pregame show, it's 4 hours of Espo, so if you want it, you should probably call your doctor right now. I'm Espo, my man Eric will be joining me here in just a second, but before the game starts, I wanted to take a look at some trends that I've noticed so far over the last 10 games or so for it, and when you look at it, assist ratio has been fantastic over the last 10. The season, they're ranked 11th. The last 3 games, 2nd in the league. Last 5 games, 1st in the league. Last 10 games, 2nd in the league. True shooting percentage, 4th for the season. Last 3 games, 1st. Last 5 games, 1st in the NBA. Last 10 games, 3rd in the NBA. This is probably my favorite one. Efficient field goal percentage. 6th for the year. Last 3 games, they ranked 1st in the league. Last 5 games, they ranked 1st in the league. Last 10 games, they ranked 2nd in the league. To me, what this speaks about is how this Suns team has started to get in a groove and kind of find their legs so far. So I'm excited to see that trend continue tonight against the Wemby-less Spurs. But before we get to any of that, I had to tell you who we're brought to you by tonight. You probably guessed from this beautiful assortment of Michelob ULTRA, but we are brought to you by Michelob ULTRA, 2.5 carbs, 95 calories, all taste. I love me some Michelob ULTRA, so much so that I got one right here next to me. Yes, it's the same one for pregame. I enjoy it. I sip on it. It's just that good. So crack open one yourself and enjoy one while we watch the game. EMLR in the chat says a watch alone. No, I've got a friend. It's producer Eric joining me here as well. I want to say hi to John Nelson, Kev, Solario, Dorian, Jeff. We've got Amir, Baxter. Hello, Baxter Holmes. No, I don't think it's Baxter Holmes.
You think he's going to break another story?
And Ryan H. in here. Ryan H. says, my cry for help, watching Espo for 4 hours. Yes.
Imagine working with him for 4 hours.
If your Espo lasts longer than 4 hours, consult a physician is what they say. So excited to have you along here. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama not playing tonight.
Sad.
Do you believe in trap games?
Oh, I mean, I feel like in a league like the NBA, where the baseline talent of all the people who are on the bottom of the roster has jumped up exponentially.
That's fair.
It's hard not to believe in trap games, having had to closely watch that Charlotte Hornets game where the only reason the Suns won was because Charlotte literally couldn't hit an open 3. Yeah. It's just something these guys watch film, and they're human. So if you see a Victor Wembanyama-less Spurs who are at the bottom of the Western Conference, it's hard not to feel confident kind of going in, and sometimes you can take your foot off the gas. But it's at this point of the season, though, with 10, 11 games left, there can't be any trap games. You need to blow them out.
If this is a trap game, you've got bigger problems than anybody thought. This is a team that, yeah, sure, it's NBA talent, just like the Suns' 19-win team was NBA talent. We all know the truth about it. On that team, Devin Booker was the one true NBA talent. On this roster, the one true NBA talent is Victor Wembanyama.
They got a couple guys. Devin Vassell. I feel like this Spurs team is kind of, they're almost purposely like kind of a little bit worse than they should be. Wemby's only been playing like high 20s, low 30s minutes per game. Yeah. And I feel like they're just trying to get another high draft pick to pair with them. Like I don't know. It's not a game that I'm expecting the Suns to lose, and it probably shouldn't even be close. But they got guys that can go off. Like Keldon Johnson's a good shooter. Devin Vassell's a good shooter.
But how much do we expect them to go off? Like this is
no, that's fair.
It's a lot that would have to happen.
Fair. There is. I don't know if I just have like PTSD from some of these games earlier in the season where I don't want to just come in and be like, they're gonna blow them out. But we saw on Saturday that, hey, like they can come out even against a team with Wemby, who is going to be one of, if not the best player in the league within the next couple of years, like still go out and put together a completely dominant game. Plus there's no injuries for the Suns besides Damian Lee. Like everybody is available. So
Nurk should show up big in this game because he's going to have no real resistance. He's not going to have to play defense like he had to the other night against Wemby, which is a tough task, which takes a lot of energy and effort at times. I really think that Nurk could, in particular on the glass, have a fairly big game tonight.
I mean, I feel like going up against their biggest body is Zach Collins at this point. So the Nurk at 300 pounds is going to move that around. And that's the thing I like about Nurk. And I'm not trying to bring it back to the whole like DA thing, but I'm confident every single night that Nurk is going to use all 300 pounds that he has, and he's going to throw that around, and he's going to at least grab some boards. And sure, there's maybe some physical limitations that come with being that big, but it's nice to just know, like, okay, down low, I'm going to have somebody who goes around there, throws their body around, and isn't completely like inept at skill stuff as well. He's not just a big body.
Who's this DA you speak of?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Is it that guy in Portland that didn't have a mattress?
It's
is that the guy you're talking about?
the Tesla. Is it a Tesla engine?
Sure.
Because there's no problems with any of those, right?
No, he implodes. What? Look, we gave our picks on pregame. I have the Suns by 15, but what are you thinking tonight in this game?
I mean, it should be a double-digit win. I'll roll with 11 points. I think maybe Flex said 11 points as well. I think it'll probably balloon up to 20, 25, and then hopefully they clear the bench, because the last thing that I need is a game that's already like basically out of hand, and the starters play a couple extra minutes and maybe things go a little awry. Even just like not even injury-wise, but almost momentum-wise. Like if your guys go out there and for 3 quarters just put on an absolute dominant performance, let them leave on that note.
Yes,
like don't go into the 4th quarter and like give them the chance to get a little mental lapse in there as well. Like put IT in, put Thad Young in, put Drew Eubanks in. Let me see point guard David Roddy. Apparently that's happening in a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I would love. Listen, I do love chaos. And as much as I want tight rotations and get ready for the playoffs, to bring a little levity and to have David Roddy and Josh Okogie switching off point guard reps would be a pretty funny visual.
It really would. I don't want to feel too confident, but I also want to feel confident. And I feel like the barometer that we've said, you got to look at, are they beating the Spurs from beyond the arc?
Mm-hmm.
Do they get to 30 assists? I mean, those are the 2 things. And do they limit turnovers? Those 3 things will tell you everything you need to know in most Suns games. I mean, the big 3 themselves over the last 3 games are averaging 20 assists.
Yeah, I mean, ball movement in general, like what we've seen, especially like when we were, I would say, the dark days of this season, which feels like more dark days than the light days, there were still moments where they would have a possession where everybody would touch the ball, it would zip around, and it would lead to a wide open Grayson Allen in the corner, or a relocation Bradley Beal corner 3-pointer as well, who's wide open, or Kevin Durant somehow wide open on the wing. Like their best moments came when they passed the ball well, but then some of their worst moments came with like overpassing. And so I think we're kind of seeing them meet in the middle there, and not overpass, just make the effective and the right choice. And it's not just Suns basketball, though. Like, I know, obviously, we're very heliocentric. We're focused on the Suns, right?
Good SAT word.
Thank you. When I knew I was going to do a watch-along with a Espadamus over here, I broke out the thesaurus and the dictionary.
We're about to see.
I had to be ready. But with these guys, like any NBA team, if you pass the ball better, have more assists than the other team and less turnovers, if you shoot more threes than the other team and make more threes than the other team, like those 2 alone, for any NBA team, you're going to win that game.
All right, I have Bradley Beal first basket as
we're going to get this live.
And we get Bradley Beal getting the ball first.
Oh, he's letting it go all the way back.
All right.
Man.
You're going to get Oh, I thought he was gonna pull.
He's just gonna
and
pull.
I was just gonna freaking.
No, they never do that. They always run
swing.
Oh
No, not book again. Oh, I almost won it. No, still alive.
Okay, Lindsay's
right.
also still alive, I think, technically as well.
Technically,
because she had Devin Booker 2-pointer.
If the Spurs score, it's over. If the Suns get it back, they got a chance.
Book?
No. Kick it to Brad.
Ooh.
Where
looks
is
like
Brad?
he wants to shoot it.
Brad's in the corner.
He's tying his shoe. And
no!
Did Lindsay hit? I think Lindsay hit. I think Lindsay hit.
Flex and I in the gutter. I apologize for everybody's ears there. Oh, we're way ahead. Lindsay, you hit. They're watching on cable. I'm watching an antenna over here.
Yeah, I had to go. I had to go make sure. But yes, Lindsay hit her bet, and you guys did not. That's sad. See, this is what happens when Flex jumps on your boat, man. You know.
Yeah, Flex sunk me tonight.
That's it. Gave you the stink.
I got that stank on me now. Oh, that was not a pretty pass there from our boy. Bradley Beal. By the way, we're at the 10:42 mark, so if you want to try to synchronize with us, you can. Sorry if I gave away anything. That was a nice little give and go from Brad to Brad there from Nurk. I love Nurk's passing. It's probably my favorite thing about this team this year is some of these crazy Nurk passes. So
I mean, even just like the ones that he makes look so easy. The little bounce passes in traffic. He's at the top of the key. I mean, I remember in the offseason, I wasn't here yet, but I was still, covering and talking about the Suns. And like the point Nurk conversation was alive and real. And I don't think they obviously fully lean into that. But I mean, even Book, did he just try to do the Chris Paul rip through?
Yes, he did.
Nurk just tried to see, he's hearing it. That's okay. That's two bad passes, two bad turnovers so far.
Okay.
Don't like that.
So they had 3 in the entire first half against the Spurs the other night. They have 2 here already. So
yeah, I remember being very excited about the turnover numbers last game.
Kevin the chat agrees. Nurk passing equals underrated. I certainly think so. I think you could give a lot of credit to his ability to pass for when this offense starts to look like it really is moving. Now he's prone to the lazy turnovers too, especially on that dribble handoff move that he goes to at the top of the key a lot. But
I'm excited to see him in the playoffs or the play-in, wherever the Suns end up. Just a game where it kind of matters the most, because he does seem like the type of guy that he will bring it every night, but it's human nature to maybe just be a little out of it for a regular season game, maybe against the Spurs. But it feels like when he has to really lock in, or when he can play the same team a couple times in a row, just his versatility and his passing could be a huge asset. Huge.
That was nice moving it around.
Some weird passes this game, though. Man, this is an ugly start.
Nurk's got to go up strong on that stuff. I hate when he brings it down. Oh, it's 8-4 Spurs and it's an end one. So yeah, man, that's just.
We've seen them do this. It's like the Hawks game, where this team just kind of comes out and they're a little flat. It's sad because you would hope that they come off of the last win and just come out firing and put them away. But there's still 9 minutes left. I forgot he's shooting the one-hand free throws. I always forget that.
I don't understand how NBA players can't shoot free throws.
Yeah.
It's the most simple thing in basketball.
The excuse is that they have big hands.
I don't care what the excuse
with Shaq too. Yeah, I don't understand. I think most of the time it's a mental thing. Just being on the line and have everybody watching you. But I also feel like if you're playing 82 big games, whether you're on a bad team, an NBA game, still a big game, a year, that should wear off a little bit. And the Suns are getting no calls.
Third turnover.
And a foul on Book.
This is not the start you wanted to see. This is the team that the 2 games prior to this, the 76ers and the Hawks, that you saw in the first quarter. It's sloppy so far. So sup, Los? Glad to have you in the chat joining us for the game. Thank you to all 63 of you watching right now and joining us. A little mid-afternoon NBA. Well, I guess it's early.
It's one of those weird in-betweens.
I don't know what. whatever it is. It's sometime before nighttime. We're watching a little Sun Spurs. It's 10-4 now, Spurs with the lead.
I'm going to try to look up what time sunset is in San Antonio because there's a good point in the chat by, let me pull it up real quick, by Blaze Megatron, who says Nurk is still fasting, which is true. And I don't know what time sunset is in San Antonio right now because that could be, I mean, not that Nurk has looked bad. Yeah, the sun doesn't set until 7:48 p.m. over there. So, Nurk's not going to really be able to eat anything basically this entire
30
game.
minutes unless, I mean, if halftime is around then, maybe he'll get his opportunity. I believe they're 2 hours in Texas from us now, I'm pretty sure. So, all right, the Spurs finally missed a shot. Yay!
And Book pull up. Flat.
He's short on him again after, that time. He found the rhythm, and hopefully those first two aren't an indicator of tonight. Book, over the last 3 games, is shooting 50% from deep until those 2 misses now.
And it was coming off like a terrible stretch for him.
Yeah.
Terrible stretch from deep. All right, let's see a bucket here, man. Let's see a bucket. Good screen by Nurk, roll, and no call. It's been pretty physical. You
basically could say no call whenever Nurk. Stop complaining, Nurk, and go back on defense. Oof. Thank you. He keeps asking Vogel to challenge, but you're not challenging at the 7:15 mark of the first quarter. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh, that was a nice pass. Couldn't hold on to that. Oh, they lucked out there. Missed layup. Yes, 13-6, 7 minutes left. Thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully the Suns can turn it on and we can have an experience like last game. If you didn't make it out to our tea party, that was quite the experience, quite a good time. Need that good juju. And there he is. There we go. Book is back.
1 of 3 from deep, but needed that one there. I believe that his first points tonight.
No, he hit the first bucket, and then I think he had 7.
Does he?
I think he hit something else.
I had the whole box score up and
just went away
on my computer. So.
I went over there and I pressed escape.
Well, that seems like you.
Yeah. No,
I got Flex sabotaging my bets, you sabotaging everything.
I mean,
You're
correct. It's just what I do.
He's 3 of 5 for 7 points right now. So
you don't like the Spurs court? You don't like the City Edition court?
It looks like it has a sun at center court.
I think it looks cool.
No.
I think it looks cool.
Get stuffed, San Antonio. The sun at the center.
The greatest form of flattery.
Imitation being the greatest form of flattery is a bunch of horse shit. That quote was made by a bunch of people who copied other people and just wanted to feel okay about it.
Ryan H says that the symbol gives him Sonics vibes.
No, I don't care.
It's like if the Suns and the Sonics logo had like a little baby
child. Yeah, no.
Okay. So let's take a step outside and say, just in a vacuum, right? You see this color scheme for a team. It's not the Spurs, right? You see this logo, you see these jerseys that has nothing to do with the Suns whatsoever. You think they're trash. You don't think it's good.
I think the jerseys are all right. I would look at center court and I'd have that same reaction about it looking like the Sonics. I mean, like Ryan H said, it looks like the Space Needle. I'm sure it's some half-ass knockoff in San Antonio that they have, and then it's in a sun. Like I'd be like, okay. Who made the clip art Sonics logo? All right, that would be what I'd be wondering.
I mean, yeah, I can't hate on when teams kind of go outside the box a little bit. And I know San Antonio with like the whole Fiesta stuff, like they have gone outside the box and that has looked really cool. But the whole color scheme and the layout, I like. But if I want to be a little bit more cynical, then yes, they do kind of copy the Suns and the Sonics homework like Flex copies yours.
Ogre McFubin in the chat has the ultimate. Their uniforms give me 1980s Taco Bell vibes. 100%. If you remember,
but wait.
Hold on. Lindsay's in the background yelling hater. Lindsay doesn't know what a 1980s Taco Bell looked like. She wasn't born then.
So I wasn't born then either. I have seen pictures though, and retro Taco Bell got good vibes. Way better vibes than the current one. No free ads.
Here. Like, I mean, Look, you can't tell me it does not look like that.
Yeah, and that looks
so
cool.
looks like
that
a
looks
retro
cool.
Taco Bell.
Listen. I'm not going to come up here and bang my fist for the old school 1980s Taco Bell, but I will say if you had to choose between the branding for the current version or that version's better, like that's not bad. Like if I walked in right now and a place was like that, I'd be like, that's cool. That's cool.
No,
I'll stand on that.
No.
See, even Lindsay says in the chat, retro is cool.
I don't mind the Sonics or the Sonics. See?
The Sonics.
The Spurs jersey. It's the court, and in particular, the center court that bothers me so much.
Okay, what about just the colors?
I don't mind the colors.
I think the colors are good. I think it's a good color palette.
With the colors. It does have a very much 1980s feel to it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with the 1980s feel.
And Zach Collins has a very 1980s haircut.
Yeah, well, he's got something going on. That's, nothing like NBA, hipster NBA. That's my favorite, so.
What is that in the middle?
I don't know.
I just think it looks cool. I don't know what it is.
Can somebody tell me what that is? Does somebody do the research and let me know what's that center court here?
Man.
That's another...
Trey Jones hit that out, but
and
KD had no clue that double was coming. Yeah. He had no clue.
Which is something we've seen happen earlier in the season, is in that corner. KD didn't notice that. Now we'll have
is
to
that a
keep
him thing, or is that like the team needs to call it out and be better?
I think
bounce pass. There we go.
Nurk on that roll there was nice. I think it's a little of both. I think it's got to be. It's communication. It's understanding where your teammates are, where you are in the corner. I think it's all of the above, and it's one of those chemistry things that they seem to have worked out, but from time to time it'll show up still.
I will say I'm a little concerned specifically with KD and the turnovers, because even back in like his OKC days when he was a little bit younger. In the playoffs, Book with a nice finish and a foul. There, finally, the refs are going to call something. Even back in OKC, he had to work on getting his handle a little tighter just because he was so tall. He's getting the ball ripped from him a lot, but I don't feel like his handle's as tight now, and he's a little bit more turnover prone, and that was even happening a little bit in the postseason last year. So that's something that I'm keeping my eye on for the last 10 games of the season. Is just like, how can KD avoid the turnovers? Because obviously he's good enough to do it, but I just feel like sometimes, like, with the constant doubles and with how tall he is and with his handle being a little bit looser than maybe in the last couple of years, for whatever reason, it's just something that I feel like teams could focus on. I don't necessarily like exploit consistently, but focus on. There's been a lot of bounce passes in this game.
It's looked like a 1980s game too. So Kevin is averaging 3.6 turnovers over the last 3 games, which, better than we've seen at times.
It is what it is.
And it's about limiting all the team turnovers, all right? I think you can have 13, 14 in a game and still be all right as a team. God.
Devin Vassell.
Spurs up 21-13. And I'm starting to wonder, was this at least in this first quarter, kind of an overlook? You went, oh, okay, well, we took care of them on Saturday with Wemby by big points, and now, and they get a call there.
I mean, listen, like, Devin Vassell is a good NBA player. Sohan is, he's fine. He'll be a lot better when the Spurs are good and he's not asked to do as much. Like, he was playing point guard for most of this year. It's a decent team, and they're well coached, and I feel like this is actually a good kind of maybe a wake up call as well for the Suns, playing the same team back to back. I believe this is the last. Oh my gosh, Grayson Allen just bricked a free throw. I feel like this is the last time, and maybe I'm wrong, that they're going to do the whole 2 teams in back to back games for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
for the rest of the season, and so maybe this will kind of like install in their head, like, hey, even if we feel like we're better, when you play the same team, even if they lose their best player, like they game plan for you as well, right? And if they have a good coach, like they're going to be a lot more prepared in that second game than that first, and so you kind of have to match that as well. So maybe there's a silver lining.
I mean, yeah, you're going up against Greg Popovich too, who's a master of all that,
And this is a team with nothing to lose right now. Like they're already bad enough that they're going to have good lottery position. Like, this is just a bunch of young guys, trying to secure their future on a team that, like, this team's gonna be good. Like Wembanyama in his own right. There you go, Nurk. Gotta finish that.
Nurk. Okay, so as much praise as we give Nurk, that happens an awful lot where he can't finish at the rim there, and it can get frustrating. But it's also, you keep in mind what he does on the boards. His passing, those kind of things.
Oh, did Katie get hit in the face?
Yep.
Can we stop? Can we please just stop hitting Suns players in the face?
Can
we
just put them in hockey style masks? Like
everybody, I think everybody should wear the Brad Beal mask.
Yeah,
everybody should just come out.
No, your eyes are still exposed there. I don't like that.
Fair.
I want a shield.
Back to the Nurk thing though. Listen. For the amount of money you're paying him, you're not going to find a perfect player. You're not going to find a perfect center. Like, that's just really rare, and you can't ask him to do everything. But I do remember at the very beginning of the season, the biggest worry was his finishing. And there was actually a lot of easy looks that he missed. And I feel like he's been better at that throughout the season. Like, it was honestly, it was very concerning for the first, couple of weeks, and he's found his own right. But like that. That's just a weird finish.
I think the Spurs saw something, and they're giving the Nurk looks kind of, because
he's shot a lot. How many times has he shot?
I mean,
he shot a lot.
He shot, as of right now, he has 6 shots. He's 2 of 6.
Okay, yeah. I mean, 2 of 6 for a center is not great.
He has the most shots, tied with Booker right now for the Suns.
It could just be a time of game thing, and maybe they notice, or maybe they want him to kind of be worn out. And there's nothing against what Nurk is doing for Ramadan. It's fantastic. And he's still out there performing and playing basketball at the highest level, which is super impressive. But you have to imagine his stamina is going to be pretty low. And so if you're going to say, all right, not only are we going to run everything at you when you're on the defensive end, but we're going to give you the leeway so that they force you the ball. You're going to go down low. You don't get any foul calls because A, you're Yusuf Nurkic, and B, you play for the Suns. That's a bad combination.
And C, the league has now told everybody don't call fouls unless it's extremely necessary.
Especially against the Suns. Listen, if you're playing defense against Kevin Durant, you can basically just punch him in the stomach and nothing is going to happen. You're not going to get the call. So they're maybe just saying, we're going to make sure everything runs through Nurk, and then you're either going to have to play Drew Eubanks a lot of minutes, or Nurk is going to have to play through and be fatigued, because I believe there's still a good amount of time before the sun sets over there. And so, it's not the end of the world.
No.
I know that sometimes it's hard to watch a game, especially when you expect the Suns to come in and dominate, and then they don't, and it's like, damn.
I'm not concerned. I just, it's an interesting pattern that we've seen, that they obviously, Nurk having 6 shots this early is kind of crazy. And to me, it feels like kind of when the Suns let Al Horford shoot threes, or Bobby Portis, and they're like, okay, you guys can beat us. And unfortunately for the Suns, they beat us. I feel like this may be a pop strategy early on. KD 9 minutes, no shots.
That can happen.
Beal 1 shot. That's a little crazy to me that we're sitting here that early and Nurk's taken that many, and KD and Beal have 1 combined.
Well, dude, that was in the Charlotte game. Kevin Durant didn't take a shot. He got fouled on a shot, but he didn't have a recorded attempted field goal until the start of the second quarter. And Devin Booker did not score until 4 minutes before halftime. And that just can't happen. It just can't. No. And obviously, listen, if this was a playoff game, there's no chance in hell that is what is going on. But at a certain point, there's a reason why these 3 are on the team.
They're supposed to be the team.
They're supposed to impose their will on every single game, right? And I'm not gonna get over here and just be like, wow, they're screwed, and Kevin Durant hasn't taken a shot, and like that. It's not that big of a deal, because come playoff time, there's no chance in hell that happens, and if it does, completely different conversation. But it's just not. It's not the recipe. It's not the recipe for this team.
I'm gonna take us away from basketball for a second.
Do it.
The chat, as always, our girthlings come through. Mm-hmm. I'm told that thing at center court is called the Tower of the Americas. That's supposedly something that is...
Never heard of it.
Iconic in San Antonio. I've watched Suns Spurs games for 30 plus years now. I've never once seen a scenic shot of it. I've never heard anybody talk about it. The thing looks like the Space Needle and the Stratosphere had an affair, and they produced this thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
don't know
it's
what that
older
is.
than the Stratosphere, but it's
not more famous.
No, it's not.
It's not more famous.
Look at this. looks like an airport.
Yeah, that looks like Sky Harbor. That literally looks like Sky Harbor.
Like,
Could you
great.
imagine the Suns do the same thing? Like it's the air traffic control tower at Sky Harbor.
But what does that tell? What does that tell you? I mean, San Antonio. Why not put the Alamo?
Or why not
there?
you could just put the Spur logo.
Yeah,
the Spur logo would fit in there.
I don't know why that's the iconic thing that they decided.
I mean, it fits, and like look wise, and I'm like look wise, it fits, but like storyline wise and like importance wise, nobody maybe outside of San Antonio, because maybe if you live there, like you know what that is, but nobody looks at that and goes, oh, it's not a UFO who's abducting somebody. Like that's what it looks
that actually
like.
Is a good call. I don't know. Like, I'm not wearing the Tower of the Americas with great pride on a T-shirt as a Spurs fan. I can't imagine.
No.
Okay. It's been rough. I mean, they're shooting 20% from three.
Sohan has hit like 43%
from the field and 60% from the free throw line.
You ever think that maybe we're the problem, Espo?
No.
We're watching along.
Maybe we're the problem.
You're the problem. Fair enough.
Just ask my wife.
That's fair enough. So. Nah, man. There's been no flow to this game, and that's so disappointing because there was a great flow to the last game, and it's technically the same team, but worse. So many missed layups though too. Like not to spin zone the entire thing, but there's been like 3 or 4 relatively easy shots at the rim that I guess both teams has missed because they just missed a layup on the other end.
I'm pulling up the shot chart.
Do it.
Oh,
what?
Hey,
Royce O'Neal hit a layup.
Okay, can Royce not dunk?
Once Royce steps 1 foot inside of the 3-point line, he becomes very confused.
He just doesn't know what to do. Like, it's crazy to me.
It's honestly, it's kind of funny. I love players like that. And Jay wasn't exactly that. Like, Boss Man had a little floaty game and he had the celebration for it and whatnot. But like players that are it's almost like a shtick. Like Royce O'Neal gets the ball. Oh, there you go. Brad, get inside. Nice. Need him.
Suns have missed 5 close in the lane.
I think everybody.
3 of which were inside the circle down there.
I think there was a couple of those where Nurk got fouled, but I mean, still, you can't miss those. But players that just like Royce O'Neal not being able to hit a layup to save his life, it's funny until it's not. It comes to the playoff time and he's got like a wide open layup and he misses it. That ain't funny anymore. But like overall, I like Royce O'Neal just takes sidestep threes and hits them at a higher rate than layups. I think that's hilarious.
Did you just see Book's face?
Yeah. There you go. They actually called a foul for once.
So do you think Sohan knows that that the Worm, Dennis Rodman, wore that same number and had the same hair in San Antonio?
Yeah, I feel if he didn't know when it happened, it has at least been brought up to him.
Yeah, like I've wondered if it was a conscious decision.
Ooh, good pass. Oh, come on,
when
man.
Book's really got it going, that thing's automatic.
Yeah. I mean, listen, 7-point game at the end of the first. This game is still very winnable. Like, don't freak out. Don't panic. Like, this is the type of team that, like, if they were underestimating them going into this game, like, they're not anymore, right? It's a 7-point game. It's 3 possessions. It can change like that. Hopefully, I don't eat my words. It should be fine.
Well, no, I mean, it should be because you look at this. Suns shot 45%. They were 9 of 20. They shot 20% from 3, 1 of 5, and they shot 60% from behind the arc, 3 of 5. They have 1 offensive rebound on 11 misses that they had, and then the Spurs shot 52%, 12 of 23. They're only 1 of 6 from 3, so they're not hitting you there, but they're 4 of 4 on their free throws as well. So they have 3 more shots, and they've made 3 more shots than the Suns, and that's a simple difference. And the free throws, I mean, they've made 1 more than the Suns. That's your simple difference there. If the Suns hit the quality looks that they're getting, they shouldn't have a problem. But I mean,
it was an ugly quarter of basketball.
Well, you can't.
It was not like as far as like the beautiful game.
No,
it was not a beautiful game.
Kevin Durant 9 minutes 0 field goal attempts.
Kevin Durant cannot go an entire quarter. I don't care what quarter it is. I don't care what team it is. I truly does not matter to me. He cannot not attempt. If you have any free throws or anything like that,
Nope.
he has not shot the ball once.
3 assists and 1 rebound. So he's helping get his teammates involved, and we saw the one to Nurk, which was pretty. But yeah, and I don't think that's not on him. But the fact that they have 0 attempts for Kevin Durant and only 2 for Bradley Beal in and of itself is a weird. I'm telling you, I think part of the strategy was to let Nurk shoot early on for the Spurs.
But at a certain at a certain point, man, like you're Kevin freaking Durant, right? Like it's on a couple people, right? Like if you're Kevin Durant and you're 9 minutes into the game and you haven't taken a shot yet, you should go to somebody and say, hey, like, let's, try to get something done. Let me get a shot. Let's try to get me off of the screen, or at least get me like more involved, because if Kevin's not shooting and they're just deferring to Nurk the whole time, then they become easier to guard. And if I'm Devin Booker, or if I'm Frank Vogel, or if I'm Bradley Beal, or hell, if I'm Yusuf Nurkic, I'm going up to the team and I'm going, let's give Kevin Durant a shot. Let's get him involved.
But you also can't force it. Like, we've heard complaints about that. It's weird. It's one of those weird things that, there shouldn't be a quarter where Yusuf Nurkic gets the opportunity to go 2 for 6 and Kevin Durant doesn't get a shot.
No, that shouldn't happen. It's a little bit of everybody, because if everybody focuses on doing it, then it's not forced, right? But if KD goes ISO, then yeah. By the way, for Midnight Serial, as far as what time we are, just started the second quarter. The Spurs have 10 seconds left on their first possession. So that is where we are right now.
And also, Sean, I wasn't saying the Suns game planned to have Nurk be the center of the offense. I'm saying the Spurs defensively seem to have been willing to give up looks to Yusuf Nurkic, and rightfully so. Hey, we've got our Bull sighting. He is out there with Kevin Durant, Drew Eubanks, Royce O'Neal, and Bradley Beal. So we'll see if Bull can get anything cooking. First shot, first make in the second quarter.
And that's the thing where it's like, you don't want to force it, but if anybody can hit a quote forced shot, it's Kevin Durant, and you like that's good. I like that. Like maybe Vogel, your good friend Frank Vogel, has the Watchalong up.
Bad defensive rotation again. Not closing out on 3. Eubanks kind of lost the guy in the corner, and that's the danger here. You
can't let this get away. You can't let this get away because now this team has confidence, right? Like, you want to know about trap games? The real trap game is when you let the bad team get confidence and get out ahead, and then you don't do anything to quell that. Because listen, like, these guys everybody's a pro in the NBA. These are some of the best players in the world. And if they get confidence, that's different. Now, shot clock violation,
Spurs doubled everything almost there. That was tough defense, but the Suns have got to figure it out, and that's the 4th turnover there. As Eli says, the solar coaster in full effect, and I mean that's true. This is this is the down after the up here, and hopefully it's just a 1 quarter lull here. But
another wide open 3. That was Drew Eubanks' guy as well. He grabbed the board, but still,
they're lucky that the Spurs aren't hitting them effectively, because this could be even worse than what it looks like right now.
Oh, the same way the Suns have missed some pretty easy shots in the paint, so have the Spurs. That's a wide open Bradley Beal 3. You need that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the gravity of Kevin Durant there. Yep. They double KD in that corner, and he's able to make the right read quick enough to kick it out to Beal for that open look.
And that only happens another 3.
See, again though, they make a 3, they give up a 3.
3.
This is a pattern with this team as well.
Ever since Flex, if I remember Flex brought that up, we were watching a game about a couple of weeks ago. He's like, they are the worst in the league at doing that, and it's so hard not to see. But back to the positive, that Beal 3, that doesn't happen if Kevin doesn't go down and force that shot earlier, because as soon as KD hits 1, now your game plan is completely different, because you're like, this is a guy that if you let him hit 2 or 3 in a row, okay, then everything's changed. So then everybody gravitates towards him, and then Beal kind of comes off. So it's a 10-point game. And listen, they just need some of their guys to get going, man. KD needs to keep taking shots. Beal will get open off of that. Drew Eubanks needs to close out defensively. It's all fixable, but it's been fixable all year. So
as Flex says, it's a make or miss league, and right now they're not making as many as they should. You're watching the PHNX Suns Watch Along, brought to you by our friends at Michelob ULTRA. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, all taste. We're seeing who can get drunk first here.
You got a head start. If the Suns win this game, are you going to shotgun?
No. this is not. Maybe if they lose, maybe I'm gonna need something to take the edge off. But a win is against the Spurs team is not a shotgun beer kind of thing here. By the way, we'll take a look at some of the stats right now. Bradley Beal, 3 of 3 right now, 7 points, a rebound, and a steal, no assists, which is surprising because
especially after last game. Yeah,
he's been averaging, and I have it right here. I believe it's 9.3 assists over the last 3 games. So that's he's been unbelievable when it comes to his assist game.
Yeah.
So recently he's been extremely unselfish, but the Spurs have definitely been in the passing lanes so far and keeping him to 0 assists. KD, the assist leader by a mile for the Suns. He has 4 of their 6 assists so far. And that's something. They've had a high assist number lately, and right now they have 1 fewer than the San Antonio Spurs.
And that goes back to some of the easier shots that are missed. Did they take away? I just saw a score bug. They took away a 3. Was somebody out of bounds?
It must have been.
We'll take it. We don't have any sound on over here, so we're not too aware of that context. But it looks like one of the Spurs 3 points was taken away.
Okay, so there was a coach's challenge, is what it says here. Yep, he was out of bounds by a mile there.
Barlow, I think it's Barlow.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was a coach's challenge, which the play-by-play claims, or if it was a review that was triggered by the stoppage in time, but it was a 3 removed, so Suns only trail by 7 now, 34.
So we call the Kevin Durant special.
Yeah.
the 1 foot out of bounds while you shoot a 3. Maybe they got to take your advice and eliminate that the corner 3-pointer.
I still think
KD,
that's an option. Nope. That one fell.
There we go.
First.
Oh,
KD
now that one.
There we go.
See, but okay, here's the thing about 4 shots with KD though. I don't care. I don't unless he's isoing every single possession and completely ruining the flow of the game. But you're down 7 to 10 points. It's the second quarter and you have 1-2 shots. Hell, I don't care. Force a shot, Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
Shetty Osman. Are you kidding me?
3
and then a 3
and then a 3. I do not understand why that is such a habit with this team.
I don't
should
know.
have pulled on that. I think Beal's shot was better than what he got for Eubanks
there. There we go. Eubanks actually battling.
Okay,
and then he turns up.
Why does somebody not call the timeout there?
I don't know.
I
don't know about that.
Or go up and help him. He's got 4 guys around him.
Want to lighten the mood a little bit. You saw what Bol said about Wemby last game?
I believe the quote was dick riding.
Yeah.
I think I can say that on YouTube.
I think so.
We may not be live much longer.
Yeah. We just got shut down. There we go. PHNX done forever. No, that was funny. I think it was funny to watch Bol and Wemby play against each other. I do feel like we're getting robbed of that again tonight. But Bol held his own, man. Shaq looked smart for a little bit. Eubanks has had some decent minutes today. Decent. Not great,
had that
but decent.
Really awful turnover there. There we go.
There we go, Royce
from deep. See the 3
Okay,
point.
let's see a 3. Are we betting on a 3 coming down the other end?
I mean, I hope not.
Keldon
but
Johnson's
the way they've been
pull.
Rotating, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, jeez.
See,
that was an aggressive shot.
So,
we'll take 3 for 2 though. We'll take that.
Suns are now shooting 40% from 3, so it can shift pretty quickly.
How many shots?
There, they have 10 3-pointers. They've hit 4 of them.
That's not bad at all.
They're still shooting worse than the Spurs right now, though.
There we go. See, that's what I like to see, and that's the thing with KD, man. Is he's so smooth, and maybe he ain't prime, MVP, but he can still get his buckets very quickly. What was that defense?
I don't need him to be prime KD.
I like it, but
he's 3 of 4 though, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. All of a sudden, he's gotten the opportunities.
And now it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, that's why you say, hey, why hasn't he taken a shot? And I'm glad he did. I would not be shocked if we see limited Bull minutes tonight. He doesn't seem
not a good
like,
start.
He doesn't seem like the spark that he's been at times.
Oh, big
there we go.
boy nerd. That's what I was talking about. The 300 pounds right before the game tipped. You know that he's going to use that. He's such a different player than Bol that it's maybe hard for teams to like defend a certain way against Bol, and then Nurk checks in and you got to like kind of readjust to playing big boy ball. But it is one of those games where, you know, Bol's leash is so short. Even when he plays well, sometimes he doesn't get that call in that second half. You might not see a lot of him. Maybe it's point guard David Roddy time.
Oh God.
Two layups for Royce O'Neal?
It's a record. Suns have tied the game just like that. And now they're shooting better than the Spurs just like that. So that's how fast
they're a better team.
This stuff can turn. They've gotten a couple second chance opportunities too, but now they have 11 assists to the Spurs 7. They're leading in the 3-point shooting category, and like that, the whole thing can shift there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this game. And I mean, listen, man, we watched a lot of really bad basketball here for a really long time. How many times after the first quarter, were those 19-win Suns teams, they were up, and you said, you know what, they're playing well today. I wonder if they can keep this going. And then you want to know what didn't happen is they didn't keep it going. Like, that just happens.
How old were you during that 19-win season?
What year was that?
That was like 18? 17, 18.
I graduated high school in 2017.
Oh, my God. I graduated high school 15 years before you.
You know what's funny is I remember breaking the Goran Dragic trade to my history teacher, and he was so confused.
Which one? The first or second?
The second.
I was working for the Suns when the second one happened. When they flipped him to Miami, the first one happened. Yeah. When they sent him to Houston.
Yeah. When he came back and then they sent him to Miami. I remember I was in history class, and my teacher was not the biggest fan of me having my phone out, and I told him, no. So you care about the Suns, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's a trade deadline, and he's like, oh, what do they do? I'm like, oh, well, you're not gonna like this.
Oh my God. You had smartphones in your high school classroom.
I don't mean to make
we weren't allowed to have our
old.
Beepers or the cell phone that could only make phone calls.
Is that your walker just off camera, or is that?
No, I'm not the guy you used to work for.
There we go. Yeah, we're having fun here on this watch along.
How long? Okay, what made you a Suns fan? I don't think
I grew up here, man. I grew up. So I was actually talking to our fantastic intern Kyle earlier. I was a little bit late to the whole sports thing. I didn't care that much growing up, but my family, my mom, my dad mainly, not as much my sister, were massive sports fans. My dad,
why weren't you? What were you doing?
I was just weird. I don't know.
You're not good at math.
I read. No,
you weren't doing math.
You want a little fun Eric Ruby fact?
Do I?
Yeah, I read. So we had this thing called like AR reading, where you had to like take tests based off like the books that you read, and it tracked how many words each book was. I read the most words in my elementary school's history by over 1 million. I don't read anymore, so I've fallen off. All I do is watch the Suns now.
Wow.
But I grew up for 15 years. I did karate, did martial arts. So that I was like doing that as like my athletic fix.
My daughter does that.
And then, oh, really? We got to talk about that.
She does.
Because that's a great thing to do. And then like, because I remember, here's the fun thing, right? Like, I remember my dad telling me about the Miami Big Three thing, and I still wasn't really into sports yet. And I told him, who cares? And then when I got into like middle school and high school, a lot of my friends were talking about like basketball, and I wanted to get on the conversation.
I'm doing the math. When the Big
It was like sixth grade.
You were 10.
Yeah, I was like,
of course you didn't care.
No, but like it was one of those things where it was like I just didn't care about basketball at all. I'm like, there are basketball fans that care at that age. And then once I got into it, it was like crack, man. It was an addiction. I was just all in on it.
KD is like you reading books back in elementary school. Automatic right now.
11-2 run.
Yeah, that they've kind of picked up the pace, and this is the team that we saw before. So somebody in the chat, let me find it. Little Supa says it's crazy. The team actually played team basketball without Booker. I don't.
That type of stuff, man. Like that's just like a stretch. I mean, you'll see when Book comes in. Like he's not a ball hog. What the? I haven't seen Nurk take that shot all year.
I think somebody broke Nurk.
Somebody broke Nurk.
And there's a wide open three.
That's all right. Nurk
they're
board.
So lucky that the Spurs.
Devin Booker is not a selfish basketball player. I don't like that narrative.
I
it's just not true.
this is no offense to Little Supa, but I think it's kind of a lazy narrative too with it. I mean, KD fans will complain about the perception and the storylines around. Oh, that's when, like I said earlier, that's when Book could turn it on in a big way. But KD fans get upset with narratives around KD that aren't in their mind accurate. Like, ooh, Nurk with the huge block.
Love that.
That aren't accurate or are based on false narratives.
Or it's based on like 10 minutes of play.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the whole season, like Devin Booker at some points have been too passive. And it's just hard where like there's been moments when whoever is on the court, it could be Beal, it could be Durant, it could be Book, it could be all three, it could be two of the three, whatever, where the Suns team just doesn't play in a rhythm. And then, yes, they go ISO ball and somebody puts up a shot that they shouldn't put up. And yeah, like that's the truth. But there's been plenty of minutes where Book is on the court and he is deferred like crazy. And there's been really good team basketball. And then, it's been the opposite. But I don't think that's a Book thing. I think that's just a whole team thing. But when you're one of, if not the best player on the team, great pass, then you're gonna be the subject of that type of take.
That was a beautiful pass. Look,
he's had a good game. Besides the shooting, like everything else, he's had a good game.
Look, the tough thing is when it comes to another block by Nurk. The tough thing when it comes to those narratives is basketball is now a 24/7 conversation.
Yeah,
live conversation.
Ooh,
when
yo-yo
it comes
dribble?
Comes to social. Book hits the deck, but looks fine. It's such a perpetual conversation, live in-game conversation, that a lot of takes will happen that are based on, like you're saying, such a small sample size. That it's frustrating. By the way, Little Super replied, "Shit, keep telling yourself that. Who does Booker make better? Who does he even have a two-man game with?"
I mean, listen, at that point, like I respect your opinion, and if that's what you think, man, like more power to you. If that's what you're taking away from this game and all of these games, like maybe we are missing something. But from what I've seen, is that Devin Booker is probably the best passer on this team.
I think he and Bradley Beal are right.
I think they're up there. I think that you could definitely make the argument that like coming out of double teams and like those skip passes specifically, like Book is really good at making those passes. And maybe he's not always the best, but I don't think anybody on this team, and nobody here is really a true point guard, makes those insane like Chris Paul type passes, But Book's not a selfish player. But if you look at certain parts of the game and you just take little segments out of it, and he's taking a contested mid-range and maybe there's a double and he shoots over it, then I get it. You can kind of come to that conclusion. But personally, I don't view Book as a selfish player.
Little Super, and I ask this with no bias or anything when it comes to it. Were you a KD fan before you were a Suns fan? That's all I wonder, because I think it's a weird dichotomy between Suns fans who have seen the loyalty of Book here in Phoenix, and then KD fans who are coming in who have been loyal to him, and rightfully so. And then there's this weird discourse between the two groups at times that becomes adversarial, but I don't think it needs to be. I think both guys are unbelievable and can be unbelievable on the same team. So Book now 7 of 12 on the game, with 18 points and 3 rebounds here.
How many assists does he have?
He has 0. But
see that, and that's the thing is like you can look at this game and you can look at 0 assists and you can think to yourself like he just doesn't make players better. And I think that was a good point, Espo. To
I thought Grayson hit his head, but didn't.
It's a good point to the whole like a lot of times it comes down to comparing KD and Book, and I mean, you can go game by game and talk about who has more assists and who passes the ball more and anything like that. I think you just kind of have to take a bigger picture view of it all. And bigger picture, like Devin Booker makes the right pass a majority of the time. And sure, maybe he'll take some contested mid. Another dime from Nurk. My Lord.
He's the true point guard. Point Nurk. Big Blue Brush says, to be fair, it shouldn't be Book's job to make anyone better. Bro's a true shooting guard, but he's so good he can play point guard's play.
I mean, it's a good point, right? Like Devin Booker's ideal scenario is probably next to like a prime Chris Paul type, somebody who is very much looking to get others involved and finding out the best. And this is the perfect game for Lit Supa to bring this take up because there have been some forced shots from Book, and he's by no means a perfect true point guard and somebody
But
that.
to be fair, KD's one miss was a forced shot too. Like
They're both really good and they're both really good passers, but their best attribute is not their passing. It's not. And you want your players to play to their greatest strengths. And if passing isn't that, then you don't want Book to be overpassing. Like, you do want him to be in killer mode. You want him to be in shooting guard attack mode, but sometimes the team needs him to be a little bit different. I think tonight they've needed both KD and Book to go into killer mode because the Spurs team they're not messing around. I mean, it's a 5-point game. I mean, 50-45 with about 47 seconds left to go in the second half. That's a low scoring game.
It is.
In today's NBA. And Book has like 18, 20 points. So, you need it.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, our record without Book tells you everything you need to know. And it's not great. Book this year. So.
He is one of the best players in the NBA. So is Kevin Durant. You can make an argument at times for Bradley Beal, who sacrificed a lot for his role. That doesn't mean that he's the greatest true point guard out there and he's the best at setting everybody else up. But again, like he's Devin Booker. That's not always his job. And he just got bodied.
Do you think if this roster had a true point guard, we'd hear any of this?
Yes.
You still think it would be?
Yeah,
he drew the foul there. Nice.
I think that there are just certain narratives that like.
Oh, I thought Book was going to Sohan and he went to the ref. All right. I thought he was going at him.
And Supa in the chat, like he's saying like that shot attempt. I'm assuming you're talking about the fadeaway baseline double team. Yeah, I mean that wasn't a great shot. Like I agree with you there. I'm not saying that Devin Booker is the greatest pure point guard and the table setter for everybody else, but like he's not a selfish player. And maybe in this game you can look at this game and say, okay, he's oh my God.
That's just a bad pass by Royce O'Neal.
You can say, he hasn't been the best at setting everybody else up, but you can also say, like, what have they needed? And today, they needed somebody to go out and set the tone. Kevin Durant has been great in the second quarter, but he didn't take an actual shot attempt until the second quarter. And so you needed somebody to go out there and kind of set that tone. And maybe that's the role that Book is trying to fill tonight. And I think that's the beauty of Devin Booker, where he can kind of fill either role. And maybe he's best not at being a pure point guard, but he can play point guard minutes for you. So that's half right there.
So Suns outscore San Antonio by 10 in the second quarter to take a 50-47 lead into the half. We're going to take a break here on the PHNX Suns Watch Along, brought to you by our friends over at Michelob ULTRA. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, all taste. Make sure to grab one at halftime, and we will be right back at the start of the third quarter. I'm back for second half. Started Suns 50-49 over the Spurs with 11:20 to go, so you can sync up with us here. Lindsay's trying to get me to do all sorts of weird parody commercials, which, not against it. So we'll see if we can crank up some of those for you. Don't forget our watch along brought to you by our friends over at Michelob ULTRA. It is
just the best.
It is 2.6 carbs, 95 calories.
Get that extra
all
0.1
taste.
off.
Yeah, we gotta sometimes. Book with the miss there. And Katie didn't start the second half.
What's going on there?
So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
I need Big J journalist Espo on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that? That's
he
weird.
looks like he's checking in. I wonder if he had to take a potty break, maybe.
Had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he probably was. We've all been there. Yeah, you're like, crap! I'm supposed to be back somewhere, and I'm still in the John.
We have all gone to the bathroom at one point in our life. That I can agree on.
Have you ever been late for a meeting because you were in the bathroom?
Yes,
we all have. And maybe he had one of those churros and it didn't sit real well with him. Maybe that's what's going on.
I don't know. Some people might think that he was doing something else in the bathroom and maybe hitting a pen or something like that.
No, that is not what was going on.
No, I mean, you never know, man.
I'm just going to sit and I'm just going to guess. No. I'm going to guess soggy churro batter caused a problem.
Soggy churro batter. That's quite the sentence right there.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
So I assume he's checking in here when he gets an opportunity. He's sitting at the scorer's table.
Shout out to all of you watching live and joining us. Yeah, appreciate it.
Kev, Blaze Megatron, Ryan H. Talk About It, Media 5, who says Bobo, Sergio Ortiz, Big Blue Brush, Org McFubin. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate it.
So our boy with the good name, Midnight Cereal, during halftime says, if the Suns had a true point guard like Chris Paul, the coach can macro manage. Suns sometimes need micromanage because there is no true point guard. A, do you think that's true? And B, if you do think it's true, is Frank Vogel the type of guy to macro manage?
I don't know. I go back and forth because I don't know how much Chris Paul, the version of Chris Paul that they would have had this year.
But like less of just a Chris Paul question, more like a point guard question. Like if they like the whole point guard like debate, like do you feel like if Frank, maybe not for the style of play, right? Like maybe Book and Beal and KD, they don't need a true point guard, but just like overall, if they had somebody who was out there who was more of a quote coach on the floor, do you feel like people would be happier with Frank Vogel's decisions?
But how many are there out there in the
true
league
point guards right now
that really are out there running things? I mean, and let's be honest, how complex are these offenses now? I mean, it's a lot of actions. Mm-hmm. It's not like coaches are calling in plays all the time like in the 90s where you had a coach on the sideline yelling things that are trying to run a play.
Here are the league leaders in assists. Tyrese Halliburton, 11 assists per game. Maybe you could argue he's a true point guard. He does look for his shot though, but 11 assists a game is a lot. Trae Young.
But is he running like the premise here is a true point guard's going to run some kind of thing that you're not seeing out here. I don't know what that was. Katie just fell down. I don't know if there's a slick spot on the court.
Remember earlier this year in the first couple Spurs games, Sohan was really feisty, and I believe him and Book even got into it a little bit. So keep an eye on that.
That was KD reacting to that. I don't know. I don't know if
as far as like true point guards go. Like I'll just read the list down. You can just yes or no true point guard. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yes.
Trae Young.
No.
Luka Doncic.
Doesn't count as a traditional point guard, but can definitely.
There's a difference between being a true point guard and averaging a lot of assists.
He's a guy that can get his teammates involved, but he's not a true point.
Jokic.
No, same thing.
I know. James Harden.
No.
Did you know that Domantas Sabonis is the 6th leading assister in the league?
Okay, you have two centers
in the top
six, and a guy that in most NBA is a shooting guard or a small forward, and Luka.
Yeah.
And so I think that tells you everything you need to know about the state of the point guard.
The era of the true point guard is gone because overall, a lot of these star players are just so good and so cerebral that they can sub in and make up for maybe whatever little bit less they have passing wise with like their scoring ability. Book is 12th on this list. Behind Sabonis at 6 is Fred VanVleet at 7, LeBron at 8, Cade Cunningham at 9, Tyus Jones, who maybe has the best argument for the current best true point guard in the league because he's a guy that looks first. Because out of all these guys here, Tyus Jones is the first one to average below 15 points per game that I've listed or that I will list. In fact, he is, until you hit Trey Jones, Tyus Jones' brother, I'm pretty sure, on the Spurs at 19, he averages under 10 points per game. Those are the guys that, as far as like points wise, they don't average a lot.
I would argue Halliburton's a true point guard.
I think that's the main one.
He is, but if you look at that whole thing, there's not. So what guy that was available were the Suns going to bring in to run an offense when in most of the NBA, the guy that's passing the rock or the centerpiece of an offense isn't the point guard anymore, isn't the guy doing that.
I mean, any guy that is just a quote-unquote true point guard, they're usually not good enough overall to be like a true game changer. All right, you want to do a little trivia here?
Hold on. Charles Coulter says the point guard debate would be about his turnovers, and often he's dribbling with the bucket getter. Yeah, I guess you would hope a true point guard would have less turnovers, but we've seen Brad Beal do it at times. I don't know. I don't know that this team is significantly different with one guy out there that's dedicated to just running the point.
No, especially with the current superstars they have. Okay, so let's see. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5.
Nurk just missed another layup.
Did he actually? That's not good.
KD with a beautiful pass to Nurk, and it was a missed layup.
So there are 5 current Phoenix Suns players who are in the top 100 in assists per game. Can you name all 5?
Nurk hurt his ankle here.
Oh, did he? Sorry, I'm trying to keep the mood light, but that's not good. He is battling through so many injuries.
Nurk, or ankle or calf there.
He's got the calf tape.
Came down weird.
Ankle.
Twisted that.
Oh, for
ankle.
A big guy too?
Hopefully it's not serious.
Oh, dude, he's
not going back in, is he?
He shouldn't. This is not worth it, dude.
No, he's going back to the locker room.
No, that's a bad limp, man. Yeah. I do hate when other people do this where they're like, well, I've been injured too, but like I've torn ligaments in both my ankles, and like you have all that weight going down, like that's just
you don't fuck with ankles.
I hate
when
that.
You're that big. Yeah, he stepped on someone's foot there, so we'll keep you updated on that. What was the now that we got through that?
I'm saying, you know what? I'm actually sad I got distracted by that, but obviously that's important. There are 5 current Phoenix Suns on the top 100 assists per game leaders. Can you name them right now? I can tell you that one player that you think is on there is not on here for this season.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker is 12th. He's at 6.9 assists per game. Grayson Allen is on the list. Grayson Allen comes in at 91st overall. He's only averaging 3.1 assists per game.
Yusuf Nurkic
is also on this list. He is at 66 at 3.7 assists per game.
So I have 2 more left?
Yes, you have 2 more left. One is there's
Bradley Beal.
He's not. That's the one that's surprising
Kevin Durant is on the list.
So Kevin Durant is on the list.
Is it Eric Gordon?
No. So Kevin Durant's 31st. Kevin Durant's averaging 5.3 assists per game. This guy coming in at a cool, even number 100. Royce O'Neal. 2.9 assists per game. And I find that a little confusing. I feel like Bradley Beal is averaging more than that, but for some reason, he's not showing up on here. I need to look up Bradley Beal's averages because that doesn't make sense to me. Because maybe I feel like he's played enough games to qualify for at least the averages, but Bradley Beal's name was not on there, so now I'm clicking on. I'm doing a little live research here. See, he's averaging 5.1 assists per game, so he'd be right there around Book. It must be a games played thing. That's according to ESPN's website. So don't murder me, chat. I apologize.
He'd knock
Royce out of the top 100. Yeah, but no, it's just I don't know. I'm just looking at numbers.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. I've got our friend Darth Voida texting me right now. So sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I don't know, man. This Nurk thing worries me. They've got him going back to the locker room. The limp looks less pronounced now that he's walking off. Hopefully, it's a minor ankle sprain, but that means that means Wednesday.
So that's a couple comments in the chat right now. David and Midnight Cereal. David says Nurk is the one guy I don't want to see limping with who we play Wednesday. And then Midnight Cereal says without Nurk ... Wednesday will be bloodbath.
Luke says literally before every Nuggets game a key player gets hurt. First game no Book, no Beal. Second game no Book. Third game probably no Nurk.
That's not good, dude.
It's not gonna be good.
It was a pretty pronounced limp, man, and he's a big dude, and it was a lot of weight on that ankle. That's just
well.
I'll keep my eye out on the nice Twitter and see if anything comes up about that, but I doubt it immediately.
I mean, you may, if it's any significant time, you may have to start playing small in some of these key games down the stretch. I mean, that was the one area we knew they were. I mean, obviously. Point guard, they don't have a true point guard like we were saying.
There you go, KD.
As Beal makes a nice pass to KD.
There we go.
That, but center was the position even at the trade deadline that you pointed at, and you went, that's not an area that you can afford an injury to Nurk because you don't believe in Drew Eubanks.
Speaking of, he's got tape over his thumb. He just grabbed it and shook his hand out. So
great.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah, another lazy turnover there.
Woo.
Oh, great defense by
Beal. You're out of bounds. Oh, wow. They did not call that out of bounds. Wow. That I mean, listen, man, I'll take anything in the Suns' favor, but that was very much out of bounds by Bradley Beal.
Another great pass to KD.
There we go. Let's take over, KD. Let's put this thing away. I don't want anybody else rolling ankles.
Put it away. Don't get anybody else hurt, and figure out what you're going to have to do on Wednesday against the Nuggets. KD now with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal. He's 6 of 7 on the field, like 15 points, excuse me. And he's 6 of 7.
He's turned it on
from the field. Like this is vintage KD taking over, and they need it right now. But man, the Nurk thing. I mean, you did sign Thad Young. I mean, you kept him in mothballs.
I mean, but now you're at the point where like he hasn't gotten any playing time except for like one or two games maybe since he got signed here. I know that Rockets one is the one that stands out. But the record without Nurk just kind of shows itself. It's not good.
They're gonna have to get creative. They're only a half a game up on the Kings and the Mavericks. Who are in 7th and 8th place, and you're only 2 back of the Pelicans, I believe 2.5 back of the Clippers. So there's such a great opportunity that I think it might be time if Nurk's out for any significant amount of time. And somebody in the chat, Org McFubin said it. KD death lineup all game.
I mean, if there's any team to kind of go up against, if it's the one that's running Zach Collins at center.
No, I mean in general. I mean, at some point, force the other team into an uncomfortable situation. Like, I get it. Against Jokic and the Nuggets, it's going to be difficult. But
Eubanks just got
that's
destroyed.
That's a terrible play by Eubanks, and this is again why KD talking with Eubanks out there. But like, to me, you're gonna have to get creative if you don't have Nurk, and I think the most creative way you could do that is kind of try to force the other team's hands defensively by running an all offensive lineup out there.
I mean, I want to see KD at the 5 for sure. I also would like to see Thad Young because, listen, hopefully Nurk isn't out for a long time. Hopefully, I mean, and he plays through a lot of injuries. He's currently playing through a lot of injuries right now. That was a crazy floater.
Yeah, KD's feeling it right now.
But I think that this could maybe be a wake-up call for Frank and say, oh, wow, that's, you can never predict when somebody's going to get injured. And you can never predict, especially when your big man's going down, and you can have all the faith in the world in Drew Eubanks, but if he's your starting center, you're gonna have to play backup because you can't just run KD at the 5 with his body at his age. Like you can use it in spurts, but that cannot be your main plan of attack.
I mean, I don't know. I'm intrigued by a lineup where you go Booker, Beal, Grayson, Bol at the 4, KD at the 5, and let's see what it looks like. Force teams into those uncomfortable matchups, make them have to adjust to what's going on. Basically try to speedboat them like we thought a lot of this season was going to be, because without Nurk, I imagine with as much as that limp, you're missing him at least one game.
Especially now where you don't want him, like, yes, every game is important right now, but it's actually more important that he's there and healthy as he can be for the postseason, as Kevin Durant misses a free throw. Not great. And now everybody's like, what the heck? And they're playing the game. He had another free throw. He missed the shot. So everybody thought that
this has been one of the ugliest,
it's weird, dude.
Weird shot clock things, not in terms of basketball, but just in terms of the weird things that have been allowed to happen so far. KD on triple-double watch with the 17 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds so far in this one.
He's been crazy efficient too. I mean, he did miss a free throw and he just hit the second one. But
can I bring this? I hate these in free throw commercials.
It's just forced because
it's never timed right. The action always starts again before they're out of it. I'm not just saying Suns broadcasts, even others
it's everywhere.
When they do it.
It's not just basketball either. It's almost every single sport now they're doing that. I agree with you. I do find that pretty annoying. But I mean, here's the thing with Nurk, man, and with the whole Thad Young thing as well. Like, yes, playing KD at the 5, it's definitely something that can be like important and very potent and a matchup nightmare. But with KD's body and the minutes load that he's been taking on, you can't just rely on KD as your backup center. You just can't, because that's just so much wear and tear on his body. Even just in these minutes here, you've seen him fall down and have 2 people meet him at the rim. You need to see what Thad Young can do for you. Like, you just need to try.
But I mean, if you don't see him in this game, you're not going to see him. I don't think you're going to see him. Like, I mean, unless they had told Thad you're not playing and he, I mean, for some reason isn't ready to, but
but that's the thing, is a guy like Thad Young is always ready. And it wasn't like he wasn't playing before he got here. He was. Yeah. He's like a 15-year NBA vet. Like he is capable of playing NBA basketball.
Hello just said, only commercials when Giannis shoot. It's true.
That you can run about like 4 or 5 commercials.
By the way, if you guys are watching right now, please hit that like button. It helps us immensely, and
maybe subscribe. We're almost at 26K. We're at 25.9K.
Hit the subscribe if you aren't already. Maybe if we get up to 50 likes, I can do a little Cookie Monster, Monster for you at some point. Maybe I'll do play-by-play as the Nookie Monster if you get those likes up. Just let's see what we can do. Maybe I will do it. KD on the break and slows up. I think that was the right call. Book draw on the foul. Oh, they didn't call it.
Wow. They've had a very loose whistle.
Called it.
No, I've had a very loose whistle today. Same thing on the other end, though. Sohan just got grabbed.
I love that he, not only looks like Dennis Rodman, but he shoots like Dennis Rodman as well.
Yeah, he's hit a couple of minis this game, which was part of the reason why the Spurs were up. Yeah, he's a very interesting basketball player. He will be a very important piece for them when they're good. But right now, he's getting asked to do a little bit too much. And yeah, people are in the chat. They're begging for people to hit the like, so they better do it.
Kev agrees. So on shot looks gross.
It does. It does look gross.
The lob to KD for the dunk. That's 2 games in a row, and this time he didn't post or book.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I love
did
that.
too.
Did you see Bradley Beal's reaction?
No.
Bradley Beal did this
Did
and was
he?
laughing at him.
Well, Book also posted it on his IG story, so he got a laugh out of it as well. So you gotta, I mean, at least they have a sense of humor about themselves when appropriate, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this team, for all the ups and downs that they've had, like I don't think you could ever point and be like, man, like these stars are turning against each other, man, they don't like each other, you know, like maybe you could question effort at certain points of the season or chemistry on the court, but it doesn't feel like really with any of this we've ever had the like, ooh, this team looks like they're not enjoying each other's company, you know, which is, I think that's
been
important.
like that, but at times it's been like, hey, it doesn't look like they're enjoying playing basketball in this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, and not like
more
not
like disinterested than anything else.
Like bored.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue even in the first quarter today, it looked like they were bored.
Yeah.
Which I understand to an extent. I mean,
to me, the whole board thing is like, I'm very torn because it makes sense. You have, I mean, the three superstars in this team, like Devin Booker's an NBA vet now. Bradley Beal's a vet, and Kevin Durant is like an ultra vet, right? Like Nurkic ain't young. Like there's not really any young guys on this team.
No.
So for a team that's had like Book has made a deep run in finals, run in the playoffs. KD has won championships. Like Nurkic has been in the playoffs. Bradley Beal has been in the playoffs, not as much as I'm sure he'd like, but it makes sense that they wouldn't put the most stock in the regular season. But at the same time, like if you're not the number 1 through 4 seed and playing dominant on most nights, it's hard for me to accept we're just bored. It's like, you're not that good yet.
Even
that's a crazy shot.
Okay.
Oh my Lord.
Sean says, you understand they're in 6th, nothing to be bored about.
Right.
No, I agree from that standpoint. I'm just saying the argument would hold more weight to your point if they're in first place and it's like, okay. But I also understand this is Kevin Durant again, a hell of a
he
shot.
He turned it on.
I think he has. I want to say he has 14 in this half.
I don't think Book has any. Book's gone a little cold.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities either, which is perfectly fine with me. Ride the hot hand.
I mean, yeah, Book's shooting wise, like, yeah, Book had 18 points. He had it quick, but 1 of 5 from 3, 7 of 16 from the field. You look at KD, now he has 24 points, but 10 of 11 from the field, 3 of 3 from the 3-point line, while also being fouled rather tremendously. So, but he just, see, that's the thing. I was talking about KD's handle earlier. He just got stripped by Vassell.
There's a lot of easy turnovers. Jeff Jeezy says, maybe we had a late night partying at the iconic Tower of America. That's a great callback there.
Oh, man.
Grayson with the end one. Just as, the Spurs had cut it to 4. You needed that end one here. This has been a weird game. This is another one where you're like, okay, I don't understand you guys right now.
It's hard, man, because this is just also like, this is the NBA. Like, good teams and bad teams, they play it close, and there's ugly games and games where shots don't fall. Kevin Durant didn't take a shot for the first quarter. Devin Booker has not really put it on in the second half. Bradley Beal has been virtually non-existent tonight. He's got 9 points and 5 assists.
You can't have games like that.
I agree. I agree. It's just it's all extra right now because there's so much pressure on them going to the playoffs, and we haven't seen it consistently from them at all. It'd be a lot easier to swallow if they'd been more consistent during the year, but like that was a crazy shot. I mean, the Spurs are hitting some really, really tough shots. And Suns are missing some easy bunnies as well. But I don't know. I'm not trying to be like too optimistic or too pessimistic. Like, there's still a whole quarter and 3 minutes to go in this game, and
did that shot just hit the side of the
backboard? Yeah.
Wow.
And now Book drives. Oh my God.
And bad pass.
Yeah, it's tough.
This has been ugly. Let's see where the turnovers stand right now.
Geez.
Let's play who's had turnovers.
9 turnovers for the Suns, 4 for the Spurs.
9 turnovers for the Suns, 3 for Book, 2 for KD, 1 for Nurkic, and 1 for Beal, along with Royce O'Neal and Drew Eubanks each having 1. So 8. And we said turnovers, assists, and 3 made would determine it. Suns trailing the turnovers, lead in the assists and lead in the 3-pointers made right now. Granted, they've only shot 15 3-pointers.
Yeah.
This has been
the
a weird
Spurs,
game.
the Spurs are 4 of 21. That is 19% from 3.
The Suns have a total of 15 3-point attempts tonight, though.
They've hit 6, which is
6.
40% from 3 is fine, but not if you're taking 15.
But did they just decide, oh, Wemby's out, so we're gonna
attack the paint?
But they're not being.
And they have less points in the paint than the Spurs. They have 34 points in the paint.
They've
Spurs
not been
38.
effective, so it's like, I don't know. Again, another one of those where you're like, I don't quite understand this, but I'm not paid to be Frank Vogel, so that's part of it.
You do have his shoes, though.
I do. I'm wearing
another
turnover. See, and that's what the Spurs are in this because of stuff like that. Tonight.
I mean, that's the thing is it, and I'm not just saying this because this was the game that I did a show with Aaron and with Steven, but like this reminds me of the Hornets game a lot because the Hornets were abysmal from 3. Abysmal, but the Suns still let them stay in the game, and it wouldn't have been a game if A, the Suns hit their shots, or if B, if Charlotte hit their threes. If the Spurs hit 30% of their threes right now, like this game would be very different.
12 points off of turnovers for the Spurs.
That's not good.
2 for the Suns.
Also, here's something here.
There's 10 points you gave up for no reason.
Without looking at the box score, do you know what the Suns are shooting from the free throw line?
Is it still 60-something%?
6 of 12. 50% from the line.
Which is unacceptable.
Yeah, the Spurs have taken 7 free throws. They've hit all 7. The Suns have taken 12, and they've hit less free throws than the Spurs.
Daniel in the chat says, full Buscemi. We're on the way to that.
Let me get the file open.
Mr. Deeds Buscemi.
Let me get the Buscemi file open. I got to get that ready.
What about a dead zone Buscemi? That's a deep cut reference.
We're going to need like 18 different Buscemi options.
Dead Zone Buscemi. That was the film with Christopher Walken.
I want to do a Christopher Walken impression, but it's not good.
I don't do it
but
well.
Like I hear it in my head.
Oh, I don't do it well, but I do it. By the way, you guys have hit the mark.
Oh, is it time?
No, it's not time yet.
Oh,
I think I will start the 4th quarter doing play-by-play as the Nookie Monster. You guys got to 53 likes. So I will do it for you. And maybe we'll let you guys vote on what kind of Buscemi this is if the Suns don't kick it into gear. I don't know. We've had, and I'm not, when I bestow a Buscemi, I'm not poo-pooing on the Suns or their effort. It's just sometimes things are tougher than we thought they'd be. Sometimes you can win ugly, and there's nothing wrong with winning ugly, right?
I mean, that's the biggest part is the win part. And at this point of the season against a team like this, it's not that I don't care that it's a Buscemi, but it's like I would much rather talk about a game about what they could have done better after they already won rather than what could they have done better and now they lost. And let's look at some of the have any of the other games tipped off yet that we got to keep an eye on right now. Utah is currently leading Dallas 44-41. That one 10 minutes, so early second quarter, so 10 minutes left until half on that one. And then, of course, Philly and Sacramento, that tips off at 7. And then Clippers and Pacers, that is at 7:30. So, I mean, if a loss, no matter what, even if those teams lose as well, like it's just not helping you with how close the West is.
Look, as bad as this is felt at times, I still feel I haven't felt, oh no, this isn't. This is a game where they're in trouble necessarily, but you let a team like this hang around for too long and they gain confidence. You get a little in your head because we know what the tail of the tape says about our 4th quarters this season. But 74-69 with a minute 20 to go in the
Good
third
block by Book.
Isn't what I thought.
Damn
an
turnover. Man.
God.
They've had some really good deflections and whatnot this game. I will say, though, the constant theme in the NBA and even really in any sports in general is that, like, the good teams, they win ugly games. How many times, again, I referenced those really bad Suns teams before. How many times were they in a game and then a team was just better than them and they ended up winning? And you just talk to yourself, you're like, man, if the Suns did this different, and that other team, they didn't play well at all, but they kind of backed into the win because they were just better. Like that's what good teams do.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% true.
It's not reassuring, but
I
it's
would
true.
appreciate it if you just stopped referring to those dark days.
I have a fond spot for them in my heart because of where we're at now. Like as interesting and up and down as the season has been, like I still sit back at times and go, you know what, man? Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, they play for my basketball team. Now, has it been perfect? Absolutely not. It really hasn't. And there have been times where I'm like, damn, those three play for my basketball team and it's like this. But at the end of the day, like I like referencing that period of time because when us as a team with high expectations plays a team with low expectations, I think how many times was I sitting in the opposite spot? No, I'm serious.
It's like I'm serious. I understand who those guys are.
But like you also understand that, like, I mean, how many guys did we talk ourselves into that did not have any spot in the NBA?
Alec Peters, baby.
Dude, the Alec Peters masterclass against the Dallas Mavericks is one of my favorite basketball games of all time.
Dumb.
It was so much fun. Like, okay. Listen, I don't technically miss that era. Like, obviously, I would prefer having.
Okay,
like,
if you
this
say
superstar.
you missed that,
I said I didn't. I said I didn't.
Smack you
I said
in the
I
head,
didn't.
right?
But there
Live
was a
on
little
this.
bit of charm. There was a little bit
There
of
was
charm.
no charm.
There was a little bit of. There was a little bit of charm.
You should have worked there. Okay, no charm.
To be fair, I was just viewing that as a fan. I wasn't working in media yet, so maybe that was it. And I mean, I was upset. I wasn't
there was
happy.
No charm even as fans. All right.
No, look, okay. In the moment, I wasn't happy, but like looking back on it, like because of how far we've come, and like obviously, if there was no finals
there
run,
we go, bull. Nice
if there was no 64-win team, like if there was no Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, like that period of time would be a lot less like tolerable. But now I just look back at it and I'm like, like, you know, the Paul Rudd, like, look at us. Who would have thought? You know, like that's how I feel right now. But that still doesn't stop you from like judging this team based off of how they should be judged, which is what they wanted to be, which is championship contenders, which they're not right now.
And the
now
Spurs are within 2. 38 seconds to go in the third, 74-72. And this is,
man,
not where you expect them to be.
But, the 2-for-1. Do you see the LeBron and JJ Redick conversation about the 2-for-1?
I did not. I have not seen it yet.
Basically, LeBron's like, I don't understand why some teams just go down and force a shot, especially if the other team has momentum. Like, yeah, you might get an extra shot, but like you could really screw up the momentum of the game. And I feel like Bradley Beal just did that. What are you doing? He can shoot. What are you doing?
So now the Spurs lead 75-74.
Like, see, like that's the stupid shot right there. The Bradley Beal 3, and then Bull leaves Keldon Johnson, one of the better shooters on the team, open to the top of the key.
Well, I'm sorry. Like the 2-for-1, that was a dumb foul by San Antonio there.
Yeah.
The 2-for-1 does not make a lot of sense to me if it's not a quality shot. Why would I just throw away a possession, which is essentially when you rush it like that, what you're doing? What if the Spurs are now 6 of 23 from deep?
And that's the thing is, like I said before, like what's that percentage then now?
They are still shooting crap 26.
So I said they were shooting 30% from 3 this entire game. Like we would have a completely different like game going on right now, and they're only up by 1. Like they'd be up almost double digits if they've been shooting 30% the whole game. I mean, it's tough, man, because Bull just left Keldon Johnson wide open from the top of the key.
Well, you're back to some of those rotation problems again with that. Like, I don't know. We got a chat here from your fave 5 head that said unserious team. Did you watch Succession?
I didn't.
Okay, well,
sorry.
One of the main characters says about his family, he's the patriarch of the family, I love you, but you are not serious people. And it's
I think I've seen that meme.
It's one of my favorite quotes from the show, and tonight I feel like it applies to what we're watching on this basketball court. By the way, yes, I will do Nookie Monster play-by-play.
That's
at the
big
start
time.
Of the fourth.
The people are excited.
Because we all need something to at least feel a little entertained by. I'm going to admit, though, I don't know the Spurs by number, so you're probably going to get a lot of that guy for the Spurs that we'll go with. So,
before we do the Nookie Monster, can you give me like your best like classic like play-by-play like cheesy radio play-by-play voice?
Devin Booker takes it down the lane and he scores.
I like it. I like it.
All sorts of cheesy voices that I can.
We should have like a wheel of voices for you.
God, no.
Like Espo, you have to give this very serious take as.
Okay, we used to do the ad read roulette, where we'd spin a wheel on the screen. It would choose the person. Then we'd spin another wheel, and it would be the voice that you had to do the ad read in.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. A handful of others did. Some did not enjoy it.
I can see that happening.
Midnight Zero says that is why you can't play bowl for long times.
I get it. But it's just really hard because he's had so many games where he's been really impactful and he's been iced out. And then it's like you do play him a little bit more, especially in that third quarter, which he hasn't seen a lot of third quarter minutes before. And he does that, then that's tough. That's tough. And I mean, the Suns outscored the Spurs by 10 points in the second quarter. Then they get outscored in the third by 4. I mean, it's... Oh, here we go.
Action back. Start of fourth. 75-74 Spurs. Bradley Beal throw ball to Kevin Durant in corner. KD back down. Kick it to Royce O'Neal. Back to KD in corner. Back to Royce O'Neal. Eric Gordon from top of key. He missed it. He missed it like I miss chocolate chip cookies when I'm out of them. Oh, the Spurs bring the ball up the court. They dribble and ball on Collins and number 3 drive hoop. Royce O'Neal knock away and Spur guy hit another 3. Oh my gosh. The Spurs are up 4 in the fourth quarter. I do not know how to feel. It's like an oatmeal cookie. Blah. This is much more difficult than I thought would be.
I think you're doing a great job.
Case here as Bradley Beal look up upset on TV screen. Not good right now. Not good.
I wish I could match your Cookie Monster voice.
Spurs can't miss 3-pointer right now. Bobo hand off to KD at top of key. KD drive pull up jumper. No good for KD. Spurs come back. That Sohan guy drive into middle, kick it back out. Spurs reset that top of key. He dribble. Collins head fake on Bobo, and he score. Bobo tried to hack him, but they do not give it to him. No dick riding on that play.
Oh my God.
KD take ball up court, and he dribble past Logo. That weird Sonic looking thing. KD dribble turnover by KD again, like oatmeal cookie. No good. Spurs have the ball. Collins for dunk. He slam it home like I put Oreo in milk. Not good. Such a big dunk. Lights go out at Spurs Arena, literally, and they lead 82-76. We'll be back right after these messages from hopefully cookie companies. 82-74. Cookie got the score wrong.
You know, I would have enjoyed that a lot more if it wasn't all just the Spurs having really good plays. That was good, though. You did a good job. How's your voice doing?
I'm going to bring it back because it's the only way I think we'll be entertained with the rest of this fourth quarter.
Man.
I think some people enjoyed that, hopefully.
They wanted it. The people wanted it. They hit
Freddie,
the thumbs up.
Just got back from the store with all my snacks. What did I miss? You might want to go back to the store.
There were some good moments, but
you might want to go back to the store.
Charles says this is the PHNX Super Bowl version of the SpongeBob feed.
SpongeBob. Oh, I can't sing that. We'll probably get.
I'm about to say, yeah, we're gonna get shut down if you do that.
Jeff G. This game's
Sesame Street.
ridiculous. Oh, you don't even know the half of it. Solario, no one does it like Espo. Yes, plenty of people do, and likely better. As
no.
So your fave 5-head said, sounds like my grumpy Russian neighbor. My throat's fine, Midnight.
Yeah,
cereal.
Midnight's wondering about your throat.
I could do
Give him
this
some tea.
all day.
He doesn't need a tea. He just needs a Michelob ULTRA.
I can. It's soothing, and it's who's bringing you this Nookie Monster play-by-play. If you guys want it in the chat, let me know. Do you want me to continue to do the Nookie Monster play-by-play? Eli says the solar coaster trending downward. Yes.
I will put a poll in the chat.
It is official. Nurk with the right ankle sprain. Not that any of us were surprised by that, but that is what the reporting is right now by our friend Dwayne Rankin. 10:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. Spurs lead 82-74. We'll see if anybody wants the Nookie Monster here. You let me know. I see the votes are starting to pile up. Get in there. Vote in the poll.
The people want... it's getting closer, but right now the people want more. Oh, now it's 50-50. We got ourselves a barn burner here. If it's 50-50, do you have to do every other word?
Listen, I feel like if you say no, it emboldens me. Either way, I think I'm doing it. That's all I'm going to say. Either way,
basically,
I think
this is not a democracy.
Either way, you're probably getting it because you know what? The Suns are losing to the Spurs in the fourth quarter, so I need to entertain myself some way. Kev says Katie looks angry. Katie should look angry because this is not a great thing. So right now.
Oh, Suns get ball under Spurs hoop. Royce O'Neal to pass it in. Spurs with full court pressure. Bradley Beal have ball. Bring up court. Bradley Beal at logo. Dribble. Now I sound like Dikembe Mutombo or Boban doing play-by-play. Eubanks with the ball, dribbling, not a good thing. Almost get knocked away. Bradley Beal pull up, but they call illegal screen on Drew Eubanks. No good. It's like one of those protein cookies. Blah. Not nice. Not nice. Another turnover. It finished 50-50. So half of you like whatever the hell this is, half of you don't. Spurs with ball. They dribble, a pick on Royce O'Neal by Collins, kick out, drive to hoop, and they miss, but Eric Gordon gets foul.
Espo, man. Sorry, Nookie Monster. This is not great, Nookie.
This is not good. Color commentator Eric, not the Jewel Ruby with me here. What do you make of play so far?
I'm gonna go by just classic radio. Well, here's the thing that we're looking at here in the Suns' fourth quarter is that they simply just can't get it together. Listen, they've had a lot of turnovers, and the Spurs, well, they've been hot from three after missing a lot in that first half. Not what you want to see out of this Suns team with 10 games left to go in the NBA regular season.
That analysis like spoiled milk that I dunk cookie in, and just.
Do you dump cookies in spoiled milk?
Oh, I dunk more than Suns in milk. I dunk cookie in it. Bradley Beal bring ball up court, drive to hoop, and he kick to Eric Gordon in corner. No good. No good. Oh, feels like a lot of groaning right now.
This is a lot of groaning.
Is it a Spurs timeout here? Is that what we got? Or
what happened?
What happened? Me no know what happened. Suns make lots of changes. Grayson Allen back in game. Devin Booker in game. Must have he step out of bounds according to Flex from Jersey. He over there. Oh, Eli want to know what my favorite cookie is. My favorite cookie, any cookie I can eat. I do not discriminate. Devin Booker with ball. Top of key. Drew Eubanks sets pick. Devin drives, kicks out to Royce O'Neal. Royce dribble. He gonna pull up for three.
Yes.
Splash like chocolate chip cookie and milk.
Not spoiled milk.
Not spoiled milk. That was delicious milk. 83-77. Spurs lead. 9:11 to go in fourth quarter. My throat is finally giving out.
I'm letting you cook right now. I wonder how long you can keep this up.
Devin gets the rebound. Bring ball up court. In Suns' side of court, Devin Booker takes pick, drive to hoop, kick out to Royce O'Neal in corner. Back to Book. Book pull for three. Splash down. As good as Oreo cookie.
No free ads.
83-80, Spurs lead. But Sohan gets layup. So 85-80. Royce O'Neal bring ball up court. Me not understand why, but he kick at the Book. Book with ball. At top off the side of key here. Drew Eubanks with the screen kind of weak. Drew Eubanks drive, or Devin Booker drive. He shoot and he make. Suns down 3, 8:17 to go.
They say Ryan says you got to keep Nookie Monster till the Suns get the lead.
Okay, me keep Nookie Monster till Suns get lead. Spurs drive, score on Grayson Allen. Drew Eubanks passing to Kevin Durant, who bring ball up. KD dribble, dribble, kick to Eubanks at top of key. Booker with the ball. He drive, do the little Chris Paul butt thing. He kick it out to Royce O'Neal. Over to Kevin Durant. Oh, he missed. Oh, 87-82 Spurs. 7:40 to go. Sohan versus Kevin Durant. You kick it. And Johnson would drive back down KD, turn, and he missed. Grayson Allen with rebound. Grayson drive, Grayson kick back to Devin Booker, top of key. Devin Booker looking to drive, pulled back out, dribble, drive. Oh, the beautiful split the defense for the layup, 87-84. Devin Booker with sweet play there. Sweet as chocolate chip cookie.
3-point game.
Oh, Sohan spin
5-point game
on Grayson and
He's
score.
cooking.
89-84.
You doing okay?
I'm good. Devin Booker, you can chime in. You are a color commentator. Man.
I'm just letting you cook right now, man.
Devin Booker, get the pick from Eubanks. Get it back from Eubanks. Drive, pull up midi, bang for Devin Booker.
You need that from him, man. 3-point game, 6:30 left, 89-86. Like this is do or die right now. Can't let him make a run.
Devin Booker so good, but Drew Eubanks with foul. Drew Eubanks play like oatmeal cookie that been left in sun far too long. Not good. Yucky.
Ugh.
I feel like we miss Nurkic a lot right now.
Are we sure that Thad Young even exists?
No.
Has anybody confirmed that he's a real basketball player?
He is like that 24-karat Oreo that we hear rumored about. He is not the rule.
Is that common knowledge?
Yeah, it is common knowledge, yes. Eli says, this is just like a Doc Rivers called game.
Oh, that's great.
I'm surprised Flex is not stormed off listening to this.
I'm surprised he came over here while you were doing Nookie Monster.
It's because this game is faster than cable game.
Do you have to
watch
do
live
it
on
during
antenna.
Commercials as well?
I don't know. Carl's Jr. commercial. Oh, no free commercial.
No free ads.
You know what I do, though? I do
What
ad
do you
for
like?
our friend Mick Ultra. Our live stream brought to you by Mick Ultra. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, just as delicious as cookie.
It pairs well with a cookie. That's what they say. It's the perfect beer to pair with a nice Oreo.
Me do
No
second
free ads.
drink too.
There you go.
Oh,
Gotta get that throat right.
It soothes the throat as well. Oh, Kev says cheeks Eubanks with a peach emoji.
It has been a cheeks clinic from Drew Eubanks.
I can't wait till I get sued by the
I was about to
Henson
say.
group here.
Yeah, I was about
I'm
to say.
gonna
I
keep
was
doing
really
it,
wondering how long you're gonna keep that up.
Oh, Ryan H says Nookie Monster Love and Ultra. Me do. I got something in eye too. Ow.
Oh, jeez.
Ow.
All right.
I'm the Yusuf
Take a
Nurkic
second.
of this live
Take
stream
a
right
second.
now.
Take a second. Let me run the people through the box score right now. All right. Right now, the Spurs are up 89-86, 6:30 left. The big number that stands out for the Suns are a couple. 14 turnovers to the Spurs, 5 turnovers coming off of last game where that number was basically flipped. And then the points off turnovers is as you would expect. The Suns have given up 15. The Spurs have only given up 5. Points in the paint. Spurs are outscoring the Suns 50-36. Not great at all. And this would be a lot uglier if the Spurs were actually shooting decent from 3. They're 7 of 25. That's 28% for them. But the Suns, ugly, man. Ugly from the line, 6 of 12. That's 50%. Ugly from 3, 8 from 22. That's not enough attempts. And that's not enough makes. They do have 6 blocks, though. 6 blocks, but the Spurs have 9 steals.
Suns and Spurs from deep like Espo in high school with the ladies. Lots of shots, lots of misses.
You were
tonight.
shooting 28% from the field? I think that's, that's pretty decent. 28% from the field is not bad,
I don't
brother.
think Espo shot 28%.
7 of 25?
Oh, not definitely not 7. Definitely not 7.
Yeah, the people are worried about Espo's voice.
I'll be fine. Patrick Logeron says this team's so frustrating. So true.
You are going to lose your voice about halfway through post game, 100%. You're going to lose an eye. That's what you're going to lose. Are you okay?
I do not. I got cookie and eye.
Oh, man.
I eat cookie like maniac, peace fly and I'd be fine.
I'm a little worried about you right now. I can't lie.
I can't believe 70 people are still watching this.
Yeah.
Oh, here come the review from a referee, man.
It's his time to shine.
I don't know why they even bother review. Two free throws is what he said. That Did Eubanks just give Blue Steel look?
Wait, they challenge.
No.
Wait, what?
No, it was review, or did they challenge?
They
They
challenged.
challenge. Oh,
Out of all the times to listen to your players, Frank, don't do it when he rakes across somebody's arms.
they should have challenged those the Nurk fouls earlier. Not that crap.
What the hell? Why would you challenge that and lose the time? Now they have one timeout left. Why would they do that?
Suns trail 90-86, 6:32 to go. Now 91-86, 6:32 to go. Devin Booker get ball in backcourt. Bring it up. He dribble up past half court line. Take Drew Eubanks screen. Book drive to hole. And he get it. Devin Booker.
Come on, turn it on now. 91-88. Come on now. Like, don't let them get to every single time they're getting to the paint. Every single time the Suns score or miss, they run up the other end of the court and they drive down the right wing and they get a wide open lane or a foul. Every single time. Every single time. No, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. And like maybe that's what Pop did. Pop at the beginning was like, we're gonna attack Nurk and we're gonna run off makes and misses because this team doesn't run back. And now they're just generating nice, easy shots, free lanes to the rim, and free throws. That's just not a recipe for success, especially when you're already down to a team that's got nothing to lose. Like, they're playing with confidence now. Jeez.
They have draft positioning to lose.
Well, then why are they playing so good?
The hell if I know.
Oh, my gosh. This is just like... I don't know. I was trying not to freak out at the beginning of the game. And, like, obviously, like, you know, every night there's a reason why you play the games, man. Like, there's a reason why you don't just get a win if you have a better record and you get a loss if you got a worse record. But, like, come on.
Mile High Midi says, regular Espo is way better.
Too bad. Cookie back. Drew Eubanks dribble handoff to Devin Booker. Devin Booker. Oh, the dribble drive. Pull up for Midi. Oh, he missed. Oh.
Hey, if this gets down to like the last 3 minutes and the Suns are still down, I'm gonna need you to switch up the Juju. That's all I'm. That's all I'm asking.
Juju by 5 minute mark if they're gonna take lead.
We got about 45 seconds. If they don't take the lead, then we got to get Espadamas back on here.
Spurs dribble basketball. Set pick. Dribble basketball. Still fall down. Call foul on Devin Booker. And you know what? If you had a review, that would be worthy of a review.
Yep, but you don't have one.
You do not.
Because you wasted it. That's the type of thing where it's like, yeah, I get being mad at Frank over a lot of stuff, but like they're usually pretty tight with the reviews.
That was book foul. He wrapped arm around him.
But even without that, like you can't challenge when your center raked his arms across a guy that was driving to the paint when you only have 2 timeouts left for the entire game.
Pull up jumper.
He's so smooth. I hate
95-88. Spurs lead. 5:24 to go. Nookie Monster almost done. Devin Booker bring ball up court.
This is do or die for the Nookie Monster.
Dribble and turnover.
All right, I need Espo back.
And this foul on KD. I go away now. Thank you for your attention. Espo will be right back.
Oh, Espo, how you been, dude?
Fine. I got a nice little break there for a half a quarter.
I feel like you black out when you do Nookie Monster. Like it's like you like wake up like the Hulk.
Lindsay
says
nobody
we all black
asked
out.
you.
I'm just kidding. I thought dislike it the least.
If Saul was here, he would have taken that microphone away
Saul
from
would have
you.
left long before we made it that long. Man, I'm glad that I blacked out from doing that voice.
I'm about to say you missed a
96-88.
You missed a hell of a quarter, man. You missed it. You did that for like 7 real game time minutes.
For half a quarter.
You did for
That's
over
right.
half of a quarter. That's impressive.
I tried.
It was the only impressive thing going on.
Again, I don't want to. The fourth quarter again is tripping up this team against a vastly inferior group, and I don't understand it right now.
Yeah, it's been a theme for this team a lot. It's like, why is this happening? This shouldn't be happening. Like all the signs point to this, like not being the case that should play out, and then it just does. And you wait for them to turn it on, and then it never gets turned on.
How much? I mean, okay, Nurk goes out, and I'd have to go back and look what the exact score was when he went out, and I can pull it up. But how much does that come to play? Because it feels like this offense changes dramatically without him helping facilitate. KD with a big three pulls him back within 6 here with 4:40 to go. But like,
oh, what?
box out. Sohan gets that. Had no business getting that.
No, here's the thing with Nurk, right? Like, he wasn't shooting great in the paint. He missed a couple decent shots, but his passing was really good, and he found the Suns for a lot of open looks. And it's less about Nurkic, and it's more about Drew Eubanks stinking up the whole place. Like, oh, Vassell.
But why stay with him?
No,
why not try something different?
Why not put either KD at the 5 or, dude, now it's like there's 4 minutes left in the game. Drew Eubanks has played a majority of the minutes. Bol hasn't had a great game, so he's not going to throw Bol back out there. So now is checking Eric Gordon in for Drew Eubanks, but does it look like KD's coming off too? I don't know. I think they might be running KD at the 5 here, but you should have bust out Thad Young at the beginning of this fourth quarter and just seen, but now you're too late in the game and you're down 8. There's no room for error. You can't just break the glass on a guy like Thad Young now.
So Nurkic, I believe, went out at the 9:08 mark when he got injured. They were up 50-51. So
he was having not a perfect game for Nurk, but he was impacting the game in a lot of different ways. Plus, even though he wasn't shooting great, you saw him use his size when he did check back in after his first stint and just bully. That's a goaltend. They're counting that, right? Count that.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
This is a 4-point game now.
Good.
99-95.
Like, Nurk came in and put his body into somebody and put the hook back up, and that's just like an easy bucket. And with the team that's running Zach Collins at center, like, Nurk is able to do that. But when you don't have him out there and you don't even have somebody who's able to make the passes that Nurk was able to make, like, it does kind of muck everything else. Yeah, they're not adjusting to not playing with Nurk well, and part of that might just be their personnel, but like, you need to stop.
I mean, you better figure it out and figure it out quick.
Yeah, this game just became a must-win right now because, like, this is like, listen, you want to simulate the playoffs. The Spurs might not be a playoff team, but down 4 with 3:38 to go in a tight Western Conference, like, this is where you need to lock in, and this is where you need your guys like Book, Beal, Durant to really step up and play well. Like, it's adversity, and they're gonna hit adversity either in the play-in or in the playoffs, no matter what. So it's like, how do you respond to that, especially in a situation like this, where on paper you should be winning the game? So it's going to be interesting. You need to see if they can lock it and get some stops with KD at the 5. This will be a good test.
It's good defense, but they
get an offensive rebound, and that's the thing. KD at the 5, man.
Out.
KD at the 5. That's what you lose.
Yeah, that was a weird one though. It
bounced right to him. Yeah.
So Brad's acting weird. This could, if Brad's injured too, 2-point game. But if Brad's injured, this has become worst case scenario. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Is it? It's his arm. It's his wrist.
Are we? He's holding his wrist, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, I'm gonna do something here. People are suggesting it might be the Vogel ones that are jinxing us. So,
okay.
So I'm gonna take these off. Well, do we? But they're losing. Do we?
I don't know. Brad Beal just got injured, dude.
Yeah, I'm taking them off. We've seen 2 injuries.
Everybody leave a like for Espo's feet. He'll take the socks off next.
No, socks stay on. No free feet picks. Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
So yeah, this. I hope it's just a stinger.
We haven't seen a replay or anything else like
is
that.
on the side here saying he thinks he just hit his elbow. I hope that's the case, and because this game, win or lose,
if you lose Nurk and Beal,
if you lose Nurk and Beal, things dramatically change over the next handful of games, depending on how long they'd be out. I mean, and you got the Nuggets on Wednesday. He looks like he's okay.
I don't know, dude.
Nah,
I don't know. That he doesn't look okay.
He can't feel his hand, so you're probably right. Is he coming in or is he staying out?
I'd like to see
out.
What happened because we haven't seen what happened yet.
So he's staying out, and they're working on that left hand of his.
They're asking you to wiggle the toes in chat.
No.
99-97, 2:40 left. Spurs ball. Zach Collins is posting up Eric Gordon. That's what the people want to see. Good defense, though. There we go. Force a turnover.
Force the steal.
Oh, Book pull up,
for the
transition
lead.
3. Bang!
Yeah.
There we go.
199 Suns take the lead
Come
with
on, lock
2:27
in.
to go.
Lock in. Win this game. Win this game. Need it, man. I need it.
Just play good defense here. Okay. No foul. Nice knock away by Book. 4.2 on the shot clock. So
Not to get ahead of myself, but I'll live with the Zach Collins post up. I'll live with that play. That's two possessions in a row.
But look how strong Book plays him there.
Book and
that was
Gordon
damn
playing
good
good defense.
from Book. Oh,
They're gonna call a foul on
call
that.
a foul on that?
Yeah, they are. Could have been an offensive foul. He's using his elbow there, but they ain't gonna call that. Zach Collins seems like the type of dude that you would hate if you play against him, but like if you played for your team.
That's the problem though. If you play KD at the 5, they're gonna bully him down low.
Yeah. That was a big shot from Book. That was a really big shot.
So tied at 100 as Collins hits the first one here.
Brad is on the bench and not looking too thrilled. He's getting his finger taped up. Maybe he jammed or dislocated his finger. Yeah. Okay, break free throw. Good board by Grayson. All right, you need a bucket. You need a bucket. Book with the ball coming up the court, guarded by Keldon Johnson. Eric Gordon's going to come up and set a screen on his right side. Book's going to take it. Book, step back. Zach Collins on him. He looks like he wants a shot.
He's trying to.
Everybody's clearing out.
Here, so he's
Eric Gordon's wide open in the corner. Nah, see, I don't like that shot. I don't like that shot. That seems like the shot that the Spurs wanted them to take. Now you got Trey Jones. Minute 30 left, tied at 100. This is a basketball game right here. Vassell guarded by Royce. Switch over to Book. And they just called a foul. Pushing the back by Royce on Zach Collins.
Yeah, they let so much go, right? In this game. And then, I got to see the replay.
I was on.
Okay.
Well, they even call that on.
What's the call? I mean,
they call it a Royce or Book?
They call a push,
and they're in the bonus.
If that was on Book, that was a horrible, horrible call there.
It probably was on Book.
They better win this game because I took my shoes off on a live stream.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's kind of tough, dude. If you had to pull the feet card and they still don't pull through. You pulled the Nookie Monster card and the feet card. Yeah. So.
There we go. He misses 1 of 2. It's 101,
you need
100.
That.
Minute 30 left. This can't turn into complete iso ball. I need him to pass the rock. KD's going to take that shot, and he's going to miss.
Man. I mean, they're not taking advantage of missed free throws. Like, the Spurs could be up 3 points right now. They're only up 1.
They need the defensive stop here.
Yeah,
with
don't
a minute
foul.
left, a minute 5 left.
Yeah, anything but a 3 and a foul.
Oh, and
that was a bad shot. See, that's fine. That's the same type of shot that was going down the other end.
Oh, that was
what
almost
a dumb
terrible pass by Kevin Durant. Booker.
They're forcing it. There we
Booker
go.
Fouled though.
Okay, they called the foul. All right. All right, let's hit these two. Let's hit these two, Book. So big shots.
Ryan H. No, I'm not taking the socks off.
If they win, he will. I promise you. Espo will show his feet. I will have a feet cam in post game if the Suns win.
I'd rather cut my feet off than do that. Book with the first free throw, and he makes it.
Swish.
So we're tied at 101, 51.8 to go in the game.
Need it, man. Need it. This is big.
But then defense becomes imperative.
Oh, here. Absolutely. I mean, the last shot, you'll live with what Devin Vassell did last possession, but.
So you have the 1 point lead here, but do you think they're going to target Collins on?
Yeah, they're going to.
Durant? I mean,
Collins standing in the corner. I think they're going to bring Collins up for a screen just because they want to kind of exploit a mismatch if they can get Collins. Yeah, Grayson Allen is guarding him right now.
Yeah. So 3 by Sohan, and he hits it. It's 104, 102, 29 seconds to go.
Damn. All right, clock's ticking.
So
Book dribbled the ball at past half court. 23 seconds left. 17 on the shot clock. Down by 2. Durant top of the key.
I don't know how I feel about running it down here because
yeah, well,
if you
especially if you
miss-
don't take a good shot.
yeah, if you miss, now you've all of a sudden KD for the three,
Oh!
in and out, book for the
Offensive board.
rebound. Call a timeout. They're scrambling here. Book for the three and the win, and he misses.
Wow.
Phoenix Suns lose 104-102 to the San Antonio
Why did they call a
Spurs.
timeout?
I don't know. They had one
Man.
left, and they seemed like they were in a panic there. But
All right. Well,
yeah, go enjoy a Mick Ultra. You're gonna need one after this loss here. Our live stream brought to you by Mick Ultra. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories.
the only
all
good thing about
taste,
tonight.
and will make you feel a little bit better. So,
All right. Well, y'all got a post game to get to.
we're
so
gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. We're gonna turn this studio over. I gotta put some shoes on, and we will be right back here for post game in about 5 minutes at the link on our YouTube page. So go over there, wait in the weight room, and myself, Flex, Lindsay, Gerald, and Eric will pop on the post game show. So join us for that here shortly as the Phoenix Suns fall 104-102 to the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. Ahoy, ahoy.
We all silly like the mayor.